In today's digital age, social media, TV, and even YouTube seem to have over-sexualized our brains to the point where we've lost control. Simple activities like exercising, studying, or even enjoying moments of silence seem nearly impossible. Your brain is constantly bombarded with urges, making it feel like the only way to satisfy that inner craving is through instant gratification. But here's the secret. Mastering sexual discipline could be the ultimate cheat code to improving your life in every area. It's like, you know how they say you are what you eat? Well, I'm here to tell you you are what you consume, and that includes what you consume with your eyes and your mind. All that stimulation, all those images, they mess with your head, man. It's time to take back control. This isn't about becoming some kind of monk. It's about harnessing that energy and redirecting it towards things that actually matter. We are biologically wired to seek reproduction, right? It's in our DNA, man. It's what keeps the species going. But in today's world, this natural instinct is heightened and often misdirected because of the constant barrage of sexual imagery and innuendos everywhere you look. It's like we're living in a perpetual state of sensory overload. Think about it. Back in the day, you'd see a Playboy magazine once in a while, and that was a big deal. Now you've got Instagram models, OnlyFans, AI-generated images. It's relentless, man. And your brain doesn't know how to differentiate between a real mating opportunity and a photoshopped image. So instead of putting all that energy into productive areas like building a business, pursuing a passion, or just being present with your loved ones, we end up channeling it towards seeking instant pleasure. It's like our brains are stuck in a loop, constantly chasing the next dopamine hit. But here's the thing, the moment you can control these urges, the moment you can step outside of that loop, you're free. You're free to focus on what matters, whether that's success in your career, personal growth, or building healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It's about regaining control of your mental bandwidth. Imagine being able to sit down and focus on a task for hours without getting distracted. Imagine having the energy and clarity to pursue your goals with laser-like precision. That's the power of sexual discipline. It's not about denying your natural urges. It's about understanding them, mastering them, and channeling them into something productive. It's about taking the reins of your own biology and becoming the best, most powerful version of yourself. We've all been there, man. We put women on a pedestal, right? We see them as the ultimate reward, the key to our happiness. But let me tell you something, that kind of thinking will hold you back. It creates this scarcity mindset where you're always chasing, always seeking validation from outside yourself. But what if you flip the script? What if instead of seeing women as the prize, you saw yourself as the prize? What if you walk through the world knowing your worth, your value? That's where true confidence comes from. And trust me, women can sense it a mile away. When you're comfortable in your own skin, when you're driven by your own purpose, you become magnetic. You radiate this energy that draws people in. And it's not about trying to impress anyone. It's about being authentically you. And here's the other thing. When you stop being obsessed with women, when you stop needing their validation, you stop coming across as needy. And let me tell you, neediness is the opposite of attractive. It's a turnoff, man. Think about it from an evolutionary standpoint. Women are hardwired to seek out strong, confident partners. They're looking for someone who can protect and provide, someone who's going to lead, not someone who's constantly seeking their approval. So take some time to work on yourself. Develop your skills, pursue your passions, build your confidence. The more you invest in yourself, the more attractive you become, both to women and to the world at large. Look, I'm not here to judge anyone, but we need to have an honest conversation about pornography. It's everywhere these days, and it's wreaking havoc on our brains. I'm talking about all kinds of explicit content, from the obvious stuff on adult websites to the more subtle stuff on Instagram and even those AI-generated images. It all adds up, man. Here's the thing. Pornography is designed to be addictive. It's like junk food for your brain. It floods your system with dopamine, giving you that quick hit of pleasure, but over time it leaves you feeling empty and unsatisfied. And the worst part is it actually rewires your brain. Studies have shown that pornography can lead to a lower sex drive, less satisfaction in real-life relationships, and even erectile dysfunction. It basically sets you up for failure, man. When you're constantly bombarded with unrealistic images and scenarios, it distorts your perception of sex and intimacy. You start to believe that's what real life is supposed to be like, and when it doesn't live up to those expectations, you end up feeling frustrated and inadequate. But here's the good news. When you cut out the porn, your brain can start to heal. It's like quitting any other addiction. It takes time, effort, and discipline, but it's possible, and the rewards are worth it. When you're no longer numbing your brain with constant stimulation, you start to feel things more deeply, your senses come alive, you become more present, more engaged in the real world, and that, my friends, is where you find true fulfillment. Replace bad habits with productive activities. We all have bad habits, whether it's scrolling through social media or binge-watching Netflix. We waste time on things that don't serve us. Your brain craves stimulation. It wants to be engaged and challenged. Replace bad habits with something productive. Channel wasted energy into activities that help you grow. Find activities that light you up and make you feel alive. Start small. Set aside 15 minutes each day. Gradually increase that time as you see the benefits. It creates a positive feedback loop. The more you stick with it, the better you get. Chapter 5. Get out of your comfort zone, literally. Let's talk about your environment for a second. Specifically, let's talk about your bedroom. Now, I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with spending time in your bedroom, but let's be honest. It's also a place where a lot of us fall into bad habits. Think about it. It's comfortable, it's private, it's easy to get lost in your own little world. But here's the thing. That kind of environment can also be a breeding ground for procrastination, laziness, and yeah, even some of those other things we talked about earlier. So here's a radical idea. Get out of your bedroom. I'm serious, man. Take your work, your hobbies, your life outside of those four walls. Go to a coffee shop, a library, a park, anywhere where you're forced to be a little more present, a little more accountable. When you're surrounded by other people, when you know that someone could walk by at any moment, you're less likely to engage in those negative behaviors. It's like having a built-in accountability partner. Plus, changing up your environment can do wonders for your creativity and productivity. When you're stuck in the same old routine, your brain can get a little stale. But when you expose yourself to new sights, sounds, and experiences, it can help to jumpstart your imagination and get those creative juices flowing. And you know what else? Getting out of your comfort zone, even in small ways like this, can have a ripple effect on other areas of your life. It can help you to become more confident, more outgoing, more willing to take risks and pursue your passions. Let's be real for a second, man. At the root of a lot of these bad habits, at the root of a lot of the things we're talking about today, is often a sense of loneliness. When you're feeling isolated, when you're feeling disconnected, it's easy to turn to those quick fixes, those instant gratifications to try to fill that void. But here's the thing, true fulfillment, true happiness, it comes from connection. It comes from building meaningful relationships with other human beings. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships here, although those are important too. I'm talking about all kinds of relationships, friendships, family connections, even just being part of a community. When you're surrounded by people who care about you, people who support you, people who challenge you to be your best self, it makes a world of difference. It reduces stress, it boosts your mood, it even strengthens your immune system. Seriously, look it up. And here's the other thing. When you're socially connected, you're less likely to fall into those bad habits in the first place. You're less likely to spend hours scrolling through social media because you're too busy actually socializing. You're less likely to seek comfort in online content because you're getting that comfort from real-life interactions. So how do you build these meaningful relationships? Well, it starts with putting yourself out there. Join a club, take a class, volunteer, go to events, strike up conversations with people you meet. It might feel awkward at first, but trust me, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And remember, building relationships takes time and effort. It's about being present, being a good listener, and showing genuine interest in other people. Look, I'll be straight with you. This isn't about becoming some kind of monk or denying yourself pleasure. Sexual discipline isn't about repression. It's about realigning your focus and energy. It's about taking all that energy that you're used to wasting and channeling it into something positive, something productive. When you stop letting your impulses control you, you regain the ability to focus on what truly matters. Life becomes more than just a series of fleeting pleasures. It becomes a series of accomplishments. It becomes about building something meaningful, something lasting. If you want to learn more about how to regain control of your life and relationships, click the link below for a step-by-step guide to mastering this vital skill and transforming every aspect of your life. Trust me, your brain will thank you.